give them a minute or something to join. I think I posted the link somewhere.
Yeah, and then somebody made it a status post, I think, too.
Okay.
Nope, no, they didn't. They made something else a status post.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. With the Illuminati thing. I'd give it a second for people to join. Let me open the YouTube link so I know.
Alright.
Wait, it doesn't show how many people are watching on YouTube anymore? What the fuck?
It should.
I guess if you're in it, maybe not. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know where it went.
It definitely did last time we did NFL HC Live.
Yeah, it's not anymore. I don't know what they did. They changed something.
Hopefully people are watching. It'd be disappointing.
Jumbo is.
Here we go.
Why is Jumbo shit talking us? He says, I can't wait to watch this, and then a wow, beautiful intro. And fucking ban his ass.
Shots fired.
Sarcastic son of a bitch. Alright, let's start then. So, I was just telling them, we're going to do all the bowls first, and then all the awards, and then all the All-Americans, I guess. All but one team made the bowls, or made a bowl. I'll let you figure out who didn't make a bowl at the end.
Yeah. You guys check that out.
Way we'll do it is I'll announce each bowl, kind of, they can talk about it, and then after like every 5 or something, I'll recap the bowls for people who weren't here. So, first bowl, which I had to add, because I realized it wasn't on the bowl thing until like 3 hours ago, even though I added it like a week ago, is Miami Beach Bowl, which I'm not sure which stadium that's in. I'm going to go with Dolphins Stadium. And it'll be between Tulsa and Louisville.
All right, Tulsa and Louisville. Does Tulsa have a coach right now?
I believe they do. Pretty sure everybody has, or like almost everybody has one. Yeah, oh yeah, it's Meekin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Louisville is Proletariat.
That's kind of an interesting game. Tulsa's got a pretty good record. I mean, they're 7-5. John Bolton has been pretty good for them, even though he's a volume passer. He's got yards. He's been semi-efficient. Yeah, that's an interesting matchup.
Surprisingly,
and Brett Welch on their defense.
Surprisingly, Tulsa's record is they're 7-5, but they're only 3-4 in the AAC, which means that they're 4-1 outside of one of the shittiest conferences. I don't know, like.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's weird. They must have had some upsets. I don't remember, but I don't know. That's not a flashy game, but we'll see who gets this one, I suppose. Next up is the New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And this is the Miami Hurricanes against the Navy Midshipmen.
That ought to be interesting. Paul Davenport's last hurrah in college, and his ridiculously good offensive line teammates. That'll be interesting.
Paul Davenport is one of the most hyped people ever. For what reason, I don't know.
Yeah,
it feels like he's been around forever though.
Yeah, he's been around since the beginning. Yeah, I don't know. His stats aren't even that amazing for the most part. He just seems to sort of exist week to week. I mean, he never he only very rarely explodes, and usually it's not. I don't know. At least when I look at Miami stuff, I never see him have a big game when I'm expecting him to have a big game. So
was he a redshirt when Ontario Smith was their quarterback?
Yeah, he was the redshirt when Ontario Smith was their QB.
So he's been playing for 4 years straight as a starting quarterback. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
So this will be his last college game ever. It's kind of crazy.
And then Miami has another 5-0 quarterback after him, but I don't know if they were generated with him or if he.
No, he must be.
He must be.
He's got to be recruited.
Okay, all right.
After this is the last season, by the way, that we have any generated recruits. So beginning next year, it's all fully recruited.
Wow. Finally, man. Geez, we've only been waiting forever for that to happen.
All right. Next up is the Hawaii Bowl in Honolulu between the Temple Owls and the Auburn Tigers.
Oh, yeah. Alien versus Ardinger.
This is going to be destruction. I think Alien's just happy to be there.
I mean, Temple had a big improvement from last year. It's pretty remarkable for them to make it to a bowl game against Auburn. Wow.
Well, to be fair, Auburn's not exactly good.
Yeah, Auburn kind of blows now. I mean, they're like one of the most inconsistent teams in the country. One week they like beat Penn State, and then the next week they shit the bed against God knows who. Like,
and then the next week their coach has a seizure.
Yeah, exactly. They're pretty inconsistent, and it's like Urban Meyer with the heart conditions. Oh, I have to leave Florida, and then like a year later, I'm the coach at Ohio State. Woo! Except, Rome's not coming back to coach Ohio State, which would have been amazing, by the way.
Coincidentally, that would be an improvement.
I felt that one. Somebody linked Dean Elizabeth Burns centers in the United States.
You mean the Old Dominion head coach?
Yes.
Next up is the Foster Farms Bowl between Western Michigan and Hawaii. So this is Emmanuel Fields versus surprisingly highly rated Hawaii.
Do they still have Charlie?
So the most interesting thing about this game, the most interesting thing about this game, other than Emmanuel Fields versus a coachless Hawaii now,
they're not
is
Lucas.
That. Oh, that's right. He's not leaving until the end of the season.
I'm assuming none of the people are leaving until the next season that have switched.
Until after the season's over. Yeah, all right. That makes sense. I don't know. I'm probably gonna pick Hawaii just because they've got recruits and shit, and Central Michigan's still a MAC team, even with Emmanuel Fields.
Matt Thomas is just a monster at that tight end position.
Dude, Matt Thomas is just touchdown machine, dude.
I think he might have set a record for touchdowns this year, for receiving touchdowns. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so.
19 receiving touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised.
19, my God.
He might have actually. That might have been before the Mountain West Championship game. He might have caught another one. 19 is the last number I remember him catching, but oh well. Also, I heard there's like a chicken buffet at the Foster Farms Bowl for both teams.
Frozen chicken.
Exactly. It's as many frozen chicken tenders as you can eat.
Just a bag for like $5 of 200 chickens as the trophy. Next up is
a frozen bag of chicken tenders is the trophy.
Next up is the Navy National Bowl, which used to be a play-in game, but no longer is. It'll be between the Toledo Rockets and San Diego State Aztecs. So that's CPO versus Wooden's last game as the Aztecs coach. And this is also coincidentally another hyped scrambling quarterback's last college game, Orly Vaccaro.
Orly Vaccaro!
Everybody's favorite player.
He's like one of those guys on the smaller teams that everybody knows.
I don't understand why this guy is so popular.
It's because of his name, dude.
Greatest name.
All I remember about this guy at the beginning was USC heavily recruited him, but he picked San Diego State over USC.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, I don't know. To me, on the site, one of the things that's really lacking is not enough people pay attention to great names. And O'Reilly Vaccaro has a great name.
I'm going to generate his brother Really next year. And then in 4 years, we'll have No Way. No Way Vaccaro.
No Way Vaccaro. Nice.
So to recap, the Miami Beach Bowl will be Tulsa versus Louisville, New Mexico Bowl, Miami, Florida versus Navy, the Hawaii Bowl, Temple versus Auburn, the Foster Farms Chicken Bowl, Western Michigan against Hawaii, and the Navy National Bowl, Toledo versus San Diego State. So next up is the first sponsored bowl, Bingo. Thank you, Bingo. Bingo's Land of 10,000 Lakes Bowl, which will be 8 degrees and snowing, I'm sure, between the Nevada Wolfpack and Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's
So
a
one
tough draw for Nevada. Ooh.
So one team that is used to playing in the snow, and one team where the players may not have ever seen snow.
It's Akil Morris versus Ron Thomas.
Yeah, that's a pretty badass matchup. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty awesome.
First hype bowl.
Yeah, that's the best bowl game so far, I think.
I think someone told me that Akil led all inside linebackers in tackles as a freshman.
Yeah, every inside linebacker he
That's
led.
insane.
I didn't even know that was true.
Akil is #1 in tackles for inside linebackers, I think.
Yeah, he has 80. The only people with more is Man Bear Pig with 83 and Lewis Peterson with 85.
I think it's partially the case because Nevada doesn't really have any good players, so he's like has to do everything.
They funnel everything to him, but I mean, still the fact that he's able to get in there and make stats.
Wait, was it?
Good, even if I think.
Yeah.
I think every other stat other than tackles for him came from that one game where he had like one of everything.
He single-handedly beat Hawaii.
Didn't save the
like the ball.
Yeah, I recruited him.
The fumble recovery, the safety, and all that other shit. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, if I'd known you were leaving, I would have fucking recruited him.
Me and Neo were like going after Akil at the same time. He ended up with Christian Haywood, which wasn't too bad a deal, but
yeah,
that's pretty good too.
Well.
Next up, the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl. Coincidentally, another bowl that involves chicken. Should be
a lot of bowl games seem to involve chicken.
Heart disease trophy between Maryland and Marshall. Sorry, GRV, this is not an interesting bowl.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one.
Rob Zico and Greg Allen, and they're coached by Panther's dad. Right?
I'm not sure they're coached by.
No, they're not
sure
coached
they've been
by.
Given to like 6 different people in the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Hey, I know. Panther's dad was fired. Like after like he and I went at each other for like way too many recruits to make sense for Arizona and Marshall, but he got fired after that for inactivity. And like seriously, we were battling for like 5 recruits. It was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so although I did get 2 of the 5-0s, so suck it, Panthers dad. Other than that, I mean, his team's going to be pretty good next year with recruiting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This year, I'm not feeling it.
Maryland is GRV is apparently the most 6-6 coach on the site. He he's like
every year
the most average literally like he went 7-5 this year, which is like a huge improvement. Sure, he'll drop back down to 6-6 next year. Next up is the Meineke Car Care Texas Bowl. So you get a free bottle of turtle wax for your car if you win this.
Nice. So we've had all the bowls with chicken, and now we have the bowl for people who eat all that chicken.
Yeah. It'll be contested. This is actually quite a good matchup between the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Ted versus Trey, the ultimate.
Versus Trey, the shit-talking bowl.
Yeah, we got to get that trash talk thread for that game. That's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait to see the amount of shit talking.
Oh god, yeah. I wonder if they'll get like some kind of bet going too. Ted wants to get that up. Although I don't know. In all seriousness, like actually discussing the teams, Trey has been surprisingly good. I think this year. I really expected his team to completely fall apart with their like patchwork offensive line, but he's actually been pretty good. Yeah, but I expected him to be like 4-8. So
Oklahoma is 8-4, but I feel like they could have been better if they had more wide receivers than like 1 or 1.5 stars. That was their problem.
Yeah, you feel like if Ted recruited instead of picking like 4 dudes and putting points on them.
Yeah, Ted needs like a recruiting clinic.
Ted's got to widen his horizons a little bit in recruiting. I think
guess the matchup
got some stars going in there, but
I guess the matchup for this game is going to be the line of Oklahoma versus the shitty O-line of Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. I think that's what it comes down to.
Next up.
Otherwise, it could be a shooting.
Yeah. Next up is the Frozen Bowl. This is like everybody's favorite bowl. It'll be negative 20 degrees. It'll be ice. There won't be any. We promise no completions in this game. And this is an interesting rematch from the regular season, and an interesting matchup between two local schools, semi-local, and it's going to be between the LSU Tigers and Tulane.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
My fucking LSU Tigers have to go. You got two teams from Louisiana. Like, all right, how about you go up to Green fucking Bay in the middle of winter?
Fucking the Frozen Bowl. Oh man,
oh my God.
Tulane actually won this game.
I mean, this is the great.
Wait, Tulane beat LSU?
I'm guessing LSU, right?
Yes, and like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not going to happen again because Tulane won't be able to pass, and I'm pretty sure their offense is entirely their quarterback.
But LSU's running back is a freshman, and he's okay, but he's not outstanding. So.
Yeah, Crimson, what the hell are you doing to my Tigers, bro? Like,
the team,
dude,
I don't know. They're just like lulling around.
Dude.
They finished. I should probably have been mentioning records the whole time. Tulane finished 6-6, 4-3 in the AAC, second in the West, and LSU finished 8-4, 4-3, third in the West.
All right, I'm dropping some prediction here. I'm picking LSU to get the revenge win. Take back the Tiger rag in the non-rivalry, damn it.
All right, moving on to the next one. The Boca Raton Bowl, which is about as interesting as this matchup, is between the Boise State Broncos and Eastern Michigan.
Well, I'm sure two teams from that far north will be very appreciative of a trip down to Boca Raton in nice, warm, sunny Florida.
Ghetto as hell, so it's not.
Yeah, of course.
So to match up the records, this is a surprisingly good game. It's just from shitty conferences. Boise State is 9-3, 5-2, second in the Mountain, and Eastern Michigan is 10-2, 6-1 in the West of the MAC. So I think it'll actually be probably a pretty good game. I just think these two are teams that most people don't really care about. I think Boise State kind of
Boise
with Brian Brown.
What's everyone's thoughts on Boise State's running back Grady Mitchell?
He has like absurd stats, but it was all against like shitty teams. So
yeah, I'm not feeling him the way their previous.
I'm pretty sure I could get 4 touchdowns against like San Jose State.
Yeah, they're pretty not great.
So recap the last 5 bowls: the Bingo Land of 10,000 Lakes Bowl, Nevada versus Iowa; the Heart of Dallas Bowl, Maryland versus Marshall; Texas Bowl, Georgia Tech versus Oklahoma, my favorite so far; the Frozen Bowl, LSU versus Tulane; and the Boca Raton Bowl, Boise State, Eastern Michigan. So now we come up to a string of several sponsored bowls. The first one is Discreto Burritos Mile High Bowl, which I'm not sure if it's a pot reference, but it possibly is.
Well, it's semi-is, but the stadium it's in is known as Mile High Stadium.
I know, but it's yes, I get it. It's just I feel like it's related.
It's a double innuendo.
The Mile High Bowl, is in Denver, and it'll be between Emperor of Orange's Clemson Tigers and the Utah Utes.
Yeah, I think Utah pulls this one out just because I'm pretty sure Clemson's gonna throw like 3 more picks.
It's because Clemson has this weird situation where Emperor of Orange thinks Steve Reed is a good quarterback, and they alternatively have Donald Dingle, who might be the worst 4.5-star player in the game.
Yeah, see, this is the exact same thing as when he had C.J. Logan, and he started hashtag C.J. Logan for Heisman. Even though C.J. Logan was not good at all and threw lots of interceptions, we have the same system. You basically have a clone of C.J. Logan here. Utah all the way.
I think this will be Utah, mostly because I think Emperor of Orange has hyped his team up to be about twice as good as they actually are, which means they went from like 6-6 to like 8-4 in terms of relevancy. We'll see what happens. Okay, I guess all we'll talk about that one. The next one is the Bahamas Bowl. This is the only bowl outside of the United States. So enjoy your trip to
Popeyes,
Nassau.
more chicken.
Oh yeah, it's Popeyes. Why are they all sponsored by like ghetto chicken restaurants?
Fried chicken for days.
Why is there not like a KFC
Because
Colonel
Illuminati.
in Louisville, Kentucky? The Bahamas Bowl will be contested between the
Illuminati, Saluna.
10-3, 6-1, number 1 in the East, Miami Redhawks, and the 7-5, 5-2, second in the West, Wisconsin Badgers. So they get to escape the Wisconsin winter to go to the Bahamas to hopefully not lose to a MAC team, or they'll be disowned from the Big Ten.
And Miami gets to escape Ohio in general.
Well, that's These people might seek asylum in the Bahamas. Never have to go to Ohio.
Stay there.
Refugee wave of Miami Redhawks players. I don't know. Douglas Graham is like surprisingly a good quarterback for where he's playing.
Yeah.
This will be FSU alumni versus Taffy owner, which is 2 active people in the shout block, so I hope there will be some shit talking.
Yeah,
shit talking is my second most important thing behind the actual matchup in these games.
Yeah, shit talking. I mean, that's entertainment value. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I got to go with Wisconsin. It's possible Miami could pull the upset, but
I think
I'd be pretty surprised.
Yeah, Wisconsin should have this.
Okay, next up, the Bridgepoint Holiday Bowl, which I think is in San Diego. I'm not sure. I think so.
Yeah.
And this will be between the Washington State Cougars and the Fresno State Bulldogs, so West Coast matchup. Fresno State, I would like to note, played the pass against Air Force and deserves to be kicked in the nuts for that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty weak. I actually played both of these teams, not back to back, but like really close. Washington State was surprisingly good after they kind of like dropped the ball at the beginning of the year and then like got really hot to end the season. They upset like basically everybody but me that they played. They like took out Oregon when Oregon was in the top 10. They beat Washington and kept Washington from winning the Pac-12 North. They upset They upset Cal, I think. I mean, kind of ridiculous where they were at the end of the season compared to where they were at the beginning. I think Fresno is a little too easy to game plan for. I think Washington State pulls it out.
You got to shut down Sam Hiller-Weeden.
What's the coaching situation for Wazoo right now? Because Fever's at Ohio State and Kendrick is back, but is that for this game?
We'll see.
I don't know. Somebody will game plan, and it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious what they'd have to do. I mean,
yeah, they have to rely on Raul Gomez, who is the last starting player recruited by Josh Glick that'll be on the Washington State Cougars after this season.
Josh, please.
Next up, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, second only to the Frozen Bowl in our love, between the Connecticut Huskies and the Oregon Ducks. So, I have no idea what to think about this game. I don't know anything about either fucking team, so...
Yeah.
If Cade decides to game plan, then I think he'll win.
Cade always loses and then says he didn't game plan. He says that every time he loses.
He does. That's why you couldn't see me, but I'm doing air quotes. So if Cade decides to air quotes game plan, close air quotes, then Oregon could win.
That's what I was just saying with when you're talking about Fresno State, Washington State. Oregon, for some reason, had fake relevancy for the first 4 weeks of the season, even though they're clearly not that good.
They were undefeated. I mean,
they were 3-0 against some shitty out-of-conference teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I know that this is a bunch of people that were hyped up, Ricardo Reed and Joaquin Younger, and neither really did anything this season. So
yeah, I mean, Younger has lost every good player on the offense practically.
Yeah, they have no O-line. I think is their problem. So we'll see what happens. And the last one of this batch, also a sponsored bowl, the Weiss's Weiss Markets Bowl. They also sell fried chicken, so
of course they do.
Man.
We need a Publix bowl.
This will be between the between the 9-3, 4-3, 5th in the East Tennessee Volunteers, and And the 7-5, 5-2, third in the Coastal Pittsburgh Panthers.
Oh God, Jumbo and Sage.
Jumbo
Fuck you,
and
Jumbo.
Anthony Miller versus Luke Williams. Will Anthony Miller tear Luke Williams' head off? More at 11. Like that's basically, yeah.
I haven't really been keeping up with Jumbo, but I know Luke Williams puts up dank stats sometimes. Sometimes he's like really
like
good.
James Dale Jr.
Against Georgia Tech, he like stomped them, and then other times he's just okay. So
similar to your quarterback, Julius Thomas.
Every single one of my losses, Julius is just shit the bed. So it'll really come down to which quarterback doesn't shit the bed.
By the way, extremely relevant because we're back on names now. Have you been referring to your quarterback as Orange Julius? And if not,
Yes!
Why not?
Orange Julius.
Okay, thank you. Orange Julius. Okay.
And Cookie Williams.
He also refers to his like O lineman as wait, which one is the fucking pancake guy or whatever?
Oh, Nigel IHOP Smith.
Except fucking every O lineman makes pancakes, so like
Yeah.
Got to it first. His
the
nickname's
least
IHOP.
name ever. Nigel Smith, yeah. This is like the first even bowl matchup I think that we've had that involves like good teams.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That could go either way.
So summary: Mile High Bowl, Clemson, Utah, Bahamas Bowl, Red Hawks against Badgers, Holiday Bowl, Washington State, Fresno State, Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Huskies versus Ducks, and the Weiss Markets Bowl, Tennessee, Pittsburgh. So we have 11 bowls left and the playoffs. Next up, also a former play-in bowl, not anymore, Medal of Honor Bowl.
Hey, guys, hang on. Dean has figured out which team has missed a bowl.
If you have not noticed, the Ohio State Buckeyes will not be attending the bowl this year. Not because I hate Ohio State, which I do, but they were 10th in the Big Ten, which is Big Ten had the most eligible teams, and Ohio State was last, so they got left out, unfortunately. So Dean will no longer be coaching any Ohio State games, which is probably good. Want to put down the animal before it dies of sickness.
So Dean's legacy at Ohio State will forever be 0-5 versus Michigan.
That's true. I mean, even if he had won this game, he would have still been 0-5 against Michigan. So.
Yeah, but now it's his last game was like a 35-17 loss. Okay, anyway, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. The Medal of Honor Bowl will be an awesome rematch from last year. It'll be, I don't know how this worked out like this, but it'll be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish against the Washington Huskies. A rematch of last year's championship game.
There it is.
Very good game right there.
I don't know how this worked out perfectly like this. I laughed when I saw it. But so we get a rematch of last year's championship game in which Constipated Ape beat TCTY. We'll see what happens this year. This year, I think Washington's the better team, although I don't know. Washington is 9-3, 4-3 second in the West, in the North, sorry, and Notre Dame's 9-3. So I guess similarly matched. This will be Notre Dame's last hurrah before Ape's shitty first 2 years of recruiting set in. So it might be a while before we see them in a bowl again. Yeah, at least he has a championship.
At least you got a championship out of it. Yeah. One thing I will say about this is that Washington has a very good quarterback, but not a first-team all-conference caliber quarterback.
Roy Hunt.
Roy Hunt. Yeah. So can I get your thoughts on Roy Hunt right quick? He's got a.
No, he's like I have like no opinion on that guy. He's just super average. He's like slightly above average.
Oh, look at that! Slightly above average. Thank you, Selena. Okay, moving on. I've made my point.
Wow.
What did I just do?
There's a debate going. There's a debate going on back and forth in the Pac-12 conference forums. Anyway, so
anyway. Next up, in Sophos's Peony Bowl in Ann Arbor, it'll be between the Kentucky Wildcats, who finished 9-3, 4-3, fourth in the East. Coincidentally, this is the first time Kentucky didn't finish like 6-6, but they're still fourth in the East, like always. So I don't really know what happened there. And they'll be playing the 8-4, 5-2, third in the East, Penn State Nittany Lions. So, Todd Jennings versus Teddy Walker. The matchup here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick the upset here. I think.
I think me winning is the upset, honestly.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm not sure which team is better, but I'm not very good this year, so.
I think it's going to be close. I think this is like triple overtime type potential game where, at the end of the fourth quarter, Teddy Walker picks off Todd Jennings and runs it in for a touchdown to send the game to overtime, and then in triple overtime, Penn State makes a play and wins. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a wild game.
This is This is tied for my worst season on the site so far. So, I'll make sure I'm going to win this game. I have a horrible bowl record, so I need to catch up on that. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned this with the Medal of Honor Bowl, but Ape is still the only coach to have never lost a bowl game.
Wow.
That's been other than people who've only been to one bowl, but it's been to multiple.
What if he wins this bowl game and then the next 2 years he doesn't make a bowl and he goes 7 years or 8 years into the site without having lost a bowl?
He's 7-0 too because it includes the playoffs or something. So he's won a lot.
Oh yeah, he's only been to the playoffs the one time and he won it all. Oh, damn.
It was 3 games, so he's 6-0 at bowls, I think. Next up, the Danger Zone Bourbon Bowl in Louisville, and it'll be between the Purdue Boilermakers, who are 9-3, 5-2, third in the West, and the Kansas Jayhawks of Stormstopper, who are 8-4, 5-2 in the North, second in the North. Yeah, that's a great game.
That's gonna be awesome.
Viral.
The Storm is super active, and Inspiral talks mad shit. That's going to be awesome.
Inspiral's shit-talking will clash with Stormstopper's defensive shit-talking.
Yep.
We'll see what happens.
That'll be pretty cool.
I'm excited for Storm's excited for Storm's little hype graphic things that he's been putting out every week.
I'm sure it's going to be good.
Yeah, the Corey Mendoza duel with Eric Jennings should be pretty nice.
I think all he needs for this is
that has shootout potential.
Wile E. Coyote getting hit by a train. That could be a good picture for this. Next up is the Raycom Camellia Bowl, which I don't give a shit about at all. I don't know where it is. I don't really care. It's between the 8-4, 6-1, second in the East UCF Knights and the 11-2, 7-0 winners of the MAC, Northern Illinois. So I think it's actually a good game. But
this does look like a good game because Northern Illinois is pretty solid, and then UCF has Denoris Jenkins.
Denoris Jackson.
But I don't know what it is.
Denoris Jackson, yeah. Yeah, he's legit. 4 to 5. Isn't he a redshirt sophomore or a true sophomore?
Like Northern Illinois is surprisingly good for not having as many playmakers as you would think. They have an average running back and an average quarterback. Yeah,
they're pretty solid everywhere. But they were competing in the MAC, so it'll be kind of interesting to see them play in the. It'll be interesting to see them play against UCF.
This is coincidentally our first conference champion in any bowl so far this season. Next up is the New Era Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Field Stadium, whatever it's called. It'll be between the second conference champion represented, the 8-5, 7-1 Air Force Falcons, who just destroyed Fresno State, and the 10-2, 5-2 second in the South TCU Horned Frogs.
There it is. Knew this bowl matchup was
coming.
Knew this one was coming. Going to be that Air Force running attack versus that TCU defense.
This also has potential for good amounts of shit talking.
Oh yeah, no, without question.
Oh.
Nobody talks more than Danger. Literally, he's got 10,000 more shouts than everybody else.
Let me look at that because I can actually see the shouts.
Oh yeah, totally. Look at that and see how crazy.
We have to mention this at this point.
Yes, it was status report on how much further he's gone.
Hold on, I have to go into the admin panel and enable this, but it's totally worth the discussion for this bowl.
Oh, definitely.
So let's see how many times over he outmatches the Screedo. If I can figure out how to find this. Can't seem to find it.
No. Speaking of which, any chance that this off season at some point we'll get a an update on the Hall of Infamy?
Yeah, maybe.
Sweet. That'd be pretty legit.
It's like it needs to be updated. It's like 10 months out of date or something.
Yeah.
All right, I can't find it. I'll look it up later. I'm pretty sure last time I checked, Danger was ahead like almost 20,000 shouts or something.
Oh my god.
He has. I think he has. Like some absurd amount. Like he has like 8% of all shouts.
That's growing.
So if you come on the shout box at any time, there is a 80% chance there's a Danger shout in it.
Oh my god.
In like the last 10.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The last time we checked that, he was only at 5%. I'm pretty.
It's something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's way more significant than anybody else. Like in the next highest, it's like 1.5%.
God.
Next up is the Hyundai Sun. Oh, we need to recap: Medal of Honor Bowl, Notre Dame, Washington, Peony Bowl, Kentucky, Penn State, Bourbon Bowl, Purdue, Kansas, Camellia Bowl, UCF, Northern Illinois, New Era Pinstripe Bowl, Air Force, TCU. Next up, Hyundai Sun Bowl. This will be between two somewhat surprising teams from the last year who would not have been suspected to be up here. The 7-5, 6-1, second in the Atlantic, Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I can't believe they're 6-1 in the Atlantic. And the 9-3, 5-2, second in the South, Arizona State Sun Devils.
Arizona State, wow.
So the Sun Devils get to play in the Sun Bowl.
Nice.
They're
not having to travel very far.
All
Wake Forest versus
Forest fans will be there.
Yeah, that's two pretty good. That's two pretty good running attacks and running quarterbacks.
It's Art Duhan versus Troy McRae.
Deshaun
Jenkins lights it up.
Randomly.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's like worse Paul Davenport.
yeah, he's the poor man's Paul Davenport, but better at running. What are your thoughts on Troy McRae this season, Selena?
We'll talk about that when we get to the awards.
Oh yeah, Heisman's coming up.
All right, okay.
We'll
cool.
off on that. All
right.
Next up
Fuck
is
ASU.
The Outback Bowl in Tampa between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. So this is
that's a nice matchup.
A. Rosequist versus Bingo.
RJ Stanford.
I feel like Arkansas has had so little hype all year. I don't know. They finished the season. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned this again. 7-5, 5-2, second in the West, and Bingo finished 10-2, 5-2, fourth in the West. Even though he went from first to fourth on the last day, I think. It is. It's the Big Ten. It is what it is.
That's actually a pretty nice matchup. I mean, Arkansas is one of those teams that's like you know what they're going to do every week, but most of the time, like you just can't stop it. I mean, they're that good. Bingo's a great coach. He's got a really good team in Minnesota that frankly deserves to be higher than fourth in their division, but.
Somewhat unrelated, I can't wait to see Bingo and Desperito take over the Broncos. The old man team is going to be...
Yeah, they're going to be ridiculous when they get like a year in. They're going to be outrageously good. They're going to make that AFC West like really fucking tough.
That's going to be hard.
Luckily for you, you're in the East.
Yeah, I have the easiest division between Jumbo and GRV being super average coaches, Azul never doing anything, and Buffalo being Buffalo.
The smack talk.
Some serious shit talk.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway, next up, the Valero Alamo Bowl in San Antonio between the West Virginia Mountaineers and the California Golden Bears.
All right, here we go.
Oh, wow, what a matchup.
Yeah.
So this is the two teams that ran out of gas towards the end of the season.
West Virginia, who just played above their rating all freaking year until the very end, practically, and then forgot to game plan.
Oh, they forgot to game plan.
Yeah, they forgot
to game plan against Texas in the championship game, but I'm pretty sure Azul did too, based on the results.
Does that really surprise you?
I think it evened out, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think Azul not game planning is the default state of Azul. That reminds me, in case he ever listens to this again, you make the fucking template for the trading cards, you idiot. Jesus. It's been like 9 weeks. I just patience ran out like a month ago. Please, just make it. Alright. I don't know what else to say about that. It's Richmond King and Mario Davis, who are like average, against Bobby Kolodziej.
I feel like Cal would be better.
Bobby Kolodziej.
I don't know why they pass so much. That's one thing I don't get about Cal.
Yeah, their receivers suck.
The receivers are not that good, and they have Marvin Washington, who's like a 4.5. So
he's got like 5.3 yards per carry, which is I think the best in the conference.
Yeah, because everybody plays pass. That's probably why.
Yeah. But I mean, still, you got their running back is definitely better than their receivers by far. Their receivers suck. But I think Quasar just likes to pass that much. I think that's the style he's interested in. So power to him. As long as he recruits some more receivers or something.
Okay, 3 more regular bowls. As we're slowly approaching the playoffs, it's starting to become kind of more clear who's in. The Russell Athletic Bowl between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the USF Bulls.
All right.
North Carolina's been really different ever since Lambeau took it over. It used to be the throw all day, and now they run the ball really well.
Well, he brought that hard-nosed mentality from Texas Tech when he went to North Carolina. So they run the ball. He wants to play defense. He wants to be like that old-school style.
Coincidentally, this is a rematch from the regular season as well. USF actually beat North Carolina in Week 7, 23-21.
Oh, wow. That's a close game, too. That's a nice that'll be a nice rematch.
I'm looking at North Carolina's losses. They're actually pretty respectable, other than they lost to Nevada, which is not so good, at opening day. But that was, I think, Lambeau hadn't taken over yet. I think he took over Week 2, so that might be excused. They lost to UCF, which was an upset.
Was that Week 1? That was the Akil explosion.
No, that was against Hawaii.
Yeah.
His other 2 losses are 10-28 against Virginia Tech and 10-23 against Texas. So it's actually a pretty good season, honestly.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's only got the 2 losses. One of them was in the championship game.
For being an 8-4, that's honestly
pretty
not
good.
that bad.
That's a pretty good 8-4 team, yeah.
And yeah, I just looked at they have the thing updated, vacant coaching for the first week of the 2017 season. So the Nevada game I would actually disregard as well.
Okay, yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So this should be a good game. Next up,
they beat up Pitt like 37-28, and I think Pitt and USF play pretty similar styles with a lot of passing.
They do.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It'll be a good one.
And I think Pitt is better at it than USF, really.
Next up, the Armed Forces Bowl, which used to be it was the other one that was a playing game. This year will be oh, by the way, the Russell Athletic Bowl is the first time it doesn't involve Houston in the previous 4 years. I don't even know how the odds of that are so just ridiculous that Houston wins every time. The Armed Forces Bowl will be contested between the Houston Cougars and the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Oh, wow, that's a nice matchup.
So they're
Joe King to Samuel Jolly.
11-2, 7-0 West champion, AAC champion Houston Cougars, and the 11-2, 6-2 Coastal champions Virginia Tech Hokies.
Both of their losses against Boston College. Oh no, actually no. They beat Boston College the first time.
Who was the other loss?
I don't remember. That's what I'm trying to remember.
It was Georgia Tech.
That was kind of a bad loss.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad. That's not a good loss.
Wow, that's weird. I can't believe they lost to Georgia Tech.
That's probably why I keep thinking that.
Yeah, they should have been like
because he beat Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech should have been like ranked second or something if they hadn't lost that game. That's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't play it. Their strength of schedule was pretty low. Like there was a poll where they were like at 12 or something, and they only had 1 loss. And I was saying, why are they so low or something in a post, and a bunch of people jumped on me and said like they had really crappy strength of schedule or something. So
they played 4 MAC teams, which really hurt them.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's
why.
Whatever. I mean, they're still a good team, so we'll see what happens. And the last non-playoff game will be the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl between Georgia Bulldogs and the Michigan State Spartans.
Wow. Franz and Slinky missing out on the
Wow.
playoffs.
So Franz and Slinky miss out on the playoffs. Although I'm not that surprised about Slinky, I guess, after he lost the
I mean, he has
championship
3
game.
losses, so
Yeah, exactly.
it's not super surprising. Georgia, just unfortunately, I think that loss against
Florida?
Missouri, where they got completely destroyed, cost them a shot at the playoffs.
Right, yeah. People still holding on to that.
It turns out
Yeah,
that game
that's
was
a
actually
rough
the game to determine the playoff team, basically, which is unfortunate.
Oh, wow. So this is the first year that Franz is not in the playoffs, correct?
No, I think this is the second time, third time. No, he hasn't been in the playoffs every year, has he?
He's been in like 3 straight.
Let me look. Really?
The first year he might not have been in the playoff, but I thought every other year. But
no, last year he wasn't. He played Purdue in the Outback Bowl.
Okay, all right.
And the first year he wasn't. He played Capital One Bowl, which is the same bowl as this one versus Ohio State. So he's 2014, 2015. He was in the playoffs.
Okay, all right.
Lost to me in Kansas.
Gotcha.
Oh no, 2014 he wasn't in the playoffs either. It was the Sugar Bowl against Kansas. That wasn't a playoff game, I don't think.
That wasn't a playoff game? Oh, okay.
Maybe it was. I don't know. But he lost to me in that other one.
Okay.
So now the playoffs. So I guess I will begin with the Cotton Bowl, which will be the 4 against the 5 seed. This will be the Boston College Eagles against the Florida Gators. Alex LaShore versus Nancy Musgrave.
That's a hell of a matchup.
Oh my God.
So Jumanji versus That Funk.
I really want to end up playing Florida so I can avenge my only loss of the season at some.
So the winner of this game plays the
the
winner of 1 versus 8.
Okay, all right. So basically, I'm not going to get to play Florida no matter what happens. Fuck. All right, well, whatever. Regardless, this is a really good matchup. BC is an awesome team. Florida I think is getting a little underrated right now, actually. But yeah, I think Florida's a much better team than their reputation is this year.
Florida's only losses this year are to Texas and Tennessee.
Yeah.
So BC's not a UT, and I think Florida has this.
This will be. I mean, it'll definitely be a good game. I suppose we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next game will be the Orange Bowl, which will be the 3 versus the 6, and the winner of this plays the 2 versus the 7. It is the Michigan Wolverines against the Missouri Tigers.
Oh
my God!
See, I thought I was going to play
Aaron
this.
Shea.
Interesting. Tommy versus Aaron. Nice.
Oh my God!
That's going to be a hell of a game.
This is duel to the death for who gets drafted first in the NFL.
I don't know. I think Aaron Shea goes before Tommy, no matter what.
You know what's weird about this whole Aaron Shea thing? He had like no hype until like the end of last year. Like the first 2 years, nobody cared at all about Aaron Shea.
Did he start the first 2 years? Didn't they have Gerald Bright?
Yeah, they had Gerald Bright the first year, and then the second year.
Bowling?
No, that was Boise State. I don't know who though. Maybe he started like his second year, but he was just not good or something.
Yeah, he was young though. He was
like the 3rd quarterback in that class behind AJ Jefferson in that high school class, and like RJ Stanford or something.
What throws me is he's from like Chicago and Missouri. I didn't remember this from actual recruiting, but like Missouri went into the Midwest
and took
out of region and got him out of Chicago.
That was the Allen Nation was the coach at the time. Yeah, for some reason I know this guy's high school. It always sticks out when I read his name, Wendell Phillips Academy. It's like the only high school for any player I know.
That's really weird.
Okay, so that's that game. So then the Peach Bowl, which is 2nd versus 7th, and they play the winner of Michigan, Missouri, will be the Arizona Wildcats and the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Oh,
God damn it! The team I didn't want to play.
Oh,
no.
You got the shit card in terms of lower seeds.
God damn it! All right, well, it's going to be a really good game. Me versus Rabid. I'm not looking forward to that matchup. That's going to be really fucking tough.
Arizona versus the I have a 4.5-star player at every position.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's going to be pretty rough.
Taylor Rodriguez against Sean Hamilton. Interesting QB duel.
It's the 2 underhyped QBs. Although Sean Hamilton, apparently Rabbit was bitching about him. He said it wasn't worth giving up all his points for what he's done so far.
Yeah, he thinks Sean Hamilton's like a lower end.
That wouldn't really surprise me. But you got to to be fair, he's got like 2 more years out of him, so he could like.
Yeah,
explode.
it's done enough clearly because he's in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. At this point, I don't even think the seeds matter as much anymore as you're in the playoffs.
No, they really don't. Yeah.
You're gonna have to beat everybody anyway, so you might as well. So we'll see how that game goes. That's my favorite of the playoff games. And
of course it is.
The first seed against the 8th, the winner will play Boston College in Florida. The Fiesta Bowl is the Texas Longhorns against Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Mississippi State just sneaking into the playoff behind Justin Hunter not throwing any interceptions this year.
He has no interceptions?
No, he's got interceptions, but he's like hella efficient, hella safe.
Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say that would be absurd.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Like, I don't know why Mississippi State wasn't hyped more. Their only loss was to California on a neutral field, and then the championship game. But they were pretty close against Florida. Like,
well, I think part of the reason is because the West is so down, except for them this year. Like all the SEC focus is in the East.
Right. But they were destroying people. They beat Auburn 45-7, and nobody gave any shit about it. They beat LSU 27-10, Tennessee 30-21. I mean, it's. They even beat Arkansas 30.
The win over Tennessee was when Wow. I think the win over Tennessee is when people like started paying attention to them, because a lot of people didn't even know they were like a 1-loss team until they beat Tennessee.
So Duncan gets to play at Zool. And that concludes our bowl games for this year. So it'll be the only 3 left will be the Rose Bowl will be Texas or Mississippi State against Boston College or Florida, and the Sugar Bowl will be Arizona or Nebraska versus Michigan or Missouri. That is you pulled the fucking hardest possible route. Arizona, Nebraska,
of course,
Michigan or Missouri.
I did. If I had freaking game planned right the week 1 against Florida, I might have been able to change my fortune, but it will. It doesn't matter. I take what comes.
I think this new playoff format that we'll be using from now on is probably the best. This tweaks out all the shitty teams, and
matchups are amazing this year.
Yeah, there's like no like UCF Penn State shit where I just win by 40. Sorry, UBL. So next up, I guess, do you want to we'll do the awards first, and then I'll just read off the All-Americans at the end. So we'll start at the bottom with the least interesting one. The Spirit Award for persevering, in this case, goes to Emmanuel Fields, running back for Western Michigan, because his team is garbage. And he's like literally breaking his back carrying like 70 people.
Carrying the entire defense into the end zone.
Yeah.
Way to go, Fields. Way to go.
Not much else to mention to that, but that's definitely true. The Admin Award this year for helping me the most and dealing with the ridiculousness of the coaches poll will go to Jumbo for organizing that bullshit every week and waiting on 5 people not doing it.
Thanks, Jumbo.
Congratulations, Jumbo. Thank you for running the poll. He's going to be doing it again next year, I suppose. So that's awesome. Coach of the Year, Home Depot Coach of the Year.
Here we go.
I guess it's
who's getting this one?
I guess it's fortunate that we have the Coach of the Year here, so we can ask Neo how he feels about his title.
Oh, Neo!
Whoa!
Neo gets the award for best CFBHC coach currently. He takes the title. He takes the title from who was it last year? We've never had anybody repeat, so this seems to be a jinx.
Oh.
So Neo is currently the best coach.
Last year it was James Jacobs.
Oh right, because the Lions had 1-2. So you joined the Hallowed Halls with Slinky, Jacobs, Vacant, and
Lambo.
Oh yeah, Lambo. Oh yeah, that was the year he
went
like 13
Lambo.
and stuck.
I'd like to thank the Academy. And God, of course, my parents, and
shout out to Taylor Rodriguez.
Shout out to Taylor Rodriguez.
I already mentioned God. Sorry.
God damn it, boy! I will make you the first team All Pac-12 conference quarterback. Don't you worry, I got your back.
If you lose to,
I got your back.
If you lose to Rabid, I'm going to rescind this title and give it to Rabid because he clearly bested you. We'll see.
Oh, Jeebus. All
right. Now on to the player awards. The Ray Guy Award for Best Punter goes to Gary Levels of Michigan State. He's had 14 more punts within the 5-yard line than anybody else, which is impressive.
Damn, that's pretty good.
That's a stat you guys don't see, but
that we don't see.
I don't know his exact average, but it was like top 5. So
nice.
We'll move through these quick. The Lou Groza goes to my kicker, Matt Fisk, who only missed 1, and he had the most field goals hit.
Cool.
Pretty average amongst all
Cool.
amongst all other stats. It's hard to kind of single out the kicker, but he was really good for me. The Jim Thorpe Award for Best Cornerback. It was close between 2 people, but in the end it goes to Teddy Walker for having 3 pick sixes.
Teddy's
I think 2 of which were in one game or something like that. He had 3 interceptions in one game. I think 2.
Yeah, he was like unanimous Defensive Player of the Week. I didn't even make people vote. It was just he gets it.
The Dick Butkus
He had pretty
Award
ridiculous year.
for Best Linebacker goes to Lewis Peterson, outside linebacker for Oklahoma State.
Lewis Peterson was a monster. Also.
Very underhyped until like a week ago.
Year.
He had an amazing year. I think it might be one of the best years ever for a linebacker, other than like Tyrone Jones. The Rotary Lombardi Award for Best Defensive Lineman goes to Anthony Miller with 4.5 sacks.
There it is.
Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller, the
this
quarterback.
This basically means he's going to declare early next year.
It's okay. Okay.
Probably. We'll see.
It's okay.
And the Chuck Bednarik Award for Best Defensive Player overall goes to Lewis Peterson. So, as we were just saying, he had a monster year.
Oh, LDO's wondering, who is the other cornerback in the consideration?
For what?
For Jim Thorpe.
Should I say this?
Go ahead.
Should I? I don't know if I should say, like, who all the second places were or whatever. I don't know. Fine, I will. I'll do it. It was Ivory Hull.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
He had, like, I think the same number of tackles and 1 less interception or something, but Teddy Walker had 3 pick sixes.
A ridiculous number. Yeah.
So now going to offensive awards. The Outland Trophy for Best O-Lineman is, I believe, the top prospect for O-line in the draft, Brandon Riemann.
Yeah.
Offensive tackle for Texas.
I can see that.
He had like absurd stats. His O-line rating for the year averaged out to be 9.6.
Oh my God!
Wow.
For what his individual players, so that's pretty amazing. That's the second highest I've ever seen, behind Ryan Robinson, who was drafted last year, also from Texas, I believe.
He's Oklahoma State.
Oh yeah, Oklahoma State. The John Mackey Award for Best Tight End, I'm sure you can guess this one, is
Hawaii.
Matt Thomas from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Who has like 1 touchdown every 28 minutes or some ridiculous shit like that.
Yeah.
Let's do the Fred Biletnikoff Award for Best Wide Receiver. Everybody's favorite wide receiver, Jarius Shawdon.
JSD.
Yeah, there you go.
That dude has like some ridiculous YPC average of like 26 or something.
Oh my God!
It's like easily the highest in the league.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. That's insane.
26.
Are you kidding me? That's wild.
It's it's 19. It's not quite as high, but it's still the highest by far.
19.
Yeah, that's what
common receiver.
The
Nebraska guy is second, David Edwards.
Okay.
So Jarius Shawdon, I think he's already won the Biletnikoff once.
Not the
last year Jenkins won it.
Yeah, it's
the year before it was
Riddick, Rex Walsh, Jankowski, and Sean Jenkins. So
I can't believe Rex Walsh is still around. 4 years after he won his Biletnikoff, he's still playing.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
The Doak Walker Award for Best Running Back goes to Troy McCray.
Yeah, there it is.
This guy would have been so much more hyped if he hadn't been on Wake Forest for the last 4 years. He's been like consistently good for so long. And
yeah, he's outrageously good. I know running backs tend to fall, but I wouldn't be surprised if he turned out to be a first-round pick.
Time claims Raheem Robinson was robbed for best wide receiver. Time, I'll let you know that he wasn't even in the top, 10, I think. So.
Whoa. Shut down.
So that's the Doak Walker. So next up are a bunch of quarterback awards in reverse order. Well, and the Heisman. So
So another quarterback award.
We'll see. The Walter Camp Man of the Year award goes to Tommy Jones from Michigan for carrying that team and carrying Sophos' hopes and dreams to another second place in the playoffs. The Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award for Best Senior Quarterback goes to Aaron Shea.
No surprise there at all.
Yeah, pretty expected. Yeah. And then the Heisman, I will read the votes from the thank you to all the voters. Please don't reveal who you are, as I asked. I'll read the votes from the bottom, from 7 to 1st, based off of the 10 finalists that we had. So in 7th place, Chris Bell, running back from Navy, with 15 points. In 6th place, Emmanuel Fields, running back for Western Michigan, with 18 points. In 5th place, Alex LaShore, quarterback from Boston College, with 20 points. In 4th place, Brad Davis, quarterback from Texas, with 23 points. Now I'm going to wait a second because I want to open the Heisman list so I can update it on the wiki. In 3rd place, actually, so it's pretty obvious who's left. Who do you think's gonna? What are your guesses for the top 3? In what order?
I'm gonna go with Shea winning it, and then Troy McCray and Tommy Jones.
Okay, and Neo?
I'm gonna go with McCray winning it, and then Shea in a very close second, and then Tommy Jones third.
Okay. The 3rd place, as you both called, is Tommy Jones, quarterback from Michigan.
Boom.
And well, now it's going to be obvious.
Yeah.
I wish I could hype this up a little bit more, but I'll just say 1st place because it'll
spell out the name instead of saying it.
Oh, I'll say the votes first. So 2nd place had 43 votes.
Okay.
And oh wait, hold on, I fucked up on the vote thing on here. 2nd place had 43 votes, and 1st place had 52. So it was really close.
Okay.
Congratulations to the 2017 Heisman winner, the 5th Heisman winner, and the 5th quarterback to win it, Aaron Shea.
Aaron Shea.
Of Missouri. So apparently this is just a quarterback award. Although Troy McCray got close. So it ended up being significantly closer than I thought it would be at one point. McCray kind of shot up there out of nowhere in the last 3 or 4 weeks. He really came on strong at the end.
Yeah, there were a couple of people who started hyping him for the Heisman. A lot of people thought he was really good, and then a couple of people, especially Danger and Jumbo and somebody else, were hyping him really hard for the Heisman partway through the season, and I think he really got some attention there. But yeah, it's hard to go against. I mean, if I had it, it's hard to know who I would vote for, but if I voted for McCray, I wouldn't be mad that Aaron Shea won it. I mean, I think he's extremely deserving.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's clearly quite a good quarterback.
Definitely.
So, and he may have a chance to succeed. Norris Brookshire is being a 1st overall Heisman player. He is the only Heisman winner so far to have been drafted 1st overall. Although Brian Brown probably should have if people didn't go full retard.
Well, yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Okay, so the only thing left. Hold on, I'm updating the picture for Aaron Shea on the wiki add him to the.
So Aaron Shea for Heisman.com. Aaron Shea for Heisman.com has now fulfilled its purpose.
Oh yeah, VT Gorilla is probably quite happy now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I just uploaded.
Aaron Shea for Heisman.com. He needed a song for that. I would have been willing to sing it.
A jingle. A jingle.
Aaron Shea for Heisman.com. And then a picture of Aaron Shea freeze frame jumping up in the air with a ridiculous grin on his face.
That reminds me of FarmersOnly.com.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, the All-Americans, I will just read these off by... I'll do special teams and defense first, and then quarterbacks, offense, and then we can just talk about them really quick, I guess. Punter, Gary Levels, and kicker, Matt Fisk, obvious because they just won the awards. Defensive ends are Anthony Miller and Ryan Fry of Tennessee and Miami. Defensive tackle, Andrew Pearson from Boise State. Outside linebackers, Brian Hernandez and Lewis Peterson. This is a who's who of the original high school recruits, by the way, for all the people who haven't been here since.
Yeah.
Inside linebackers, Akeel Morris.
Akeel.
Tom Reese from Alabama. Defensive backs, Teddy Walker, Ivory Hall, Aaron Samuelson, and Will Hall.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
Elite.
There was a lot of competition for the inside linebackers, actually, but Reese had it at the end. Haywood was on there. My guy, the guy from Virginia Tech, I think. There was a bunch of people there that were like kind of close. And offense, center, Matt Cole, USC. The only thing left on USC that's good. Offensive guards, Doug Aska from Miami.
No surprise, he's a monster.
Todd Hevesi from Michigan State, or Hevesi.
No surprise, he's a monster too.
Offensive tackles, Brandon Riemann from Texas, and Darnarian Son from Miami.
No surprise, he's a monster too.
Paul Davenport.
Miami has ridiculously oversized offensive linemen.
Massive.
Tight end, Matt Thomas, Hawaii. The wide receivers are Jarius Shaw Dodd and Adrian Jankowski, two people who have both won the Biletnikoff.
Right.
Fullback is Michael Behrens from Arizona Wildcats. And wait, is that right?
No, he's not playing for me this year. I did
not update that one, so I need to update one. So that's he's in the NFL, I think. So that's messed up.
He is. I have a 5-star fullback, but I don't know.
Oh, it might still be your guy. I just didn't update the name, but I saw the team and it was like right.
Okay.
I'll look into that in a second. After running back.
So I might be fullback you, is what you're saying.
Possibly.
Despite Danger's best efforts.
Yeah, I think that's what happened because I recognize that guy's not in the league anymore anyway. So that I think it must be the same. It must be your fullback.
Nice.
Running back is Troy McCray and quarterback Aaron Shea. So
Nice.
Let me check this Arizona thing. I'm pretty sure it's your I'm pretty sure it's your guy. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened.
All right, cool. So I might be fullback you. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh man, Danger is gonna be so salty about that.
Yeah, probably. I beat him out by 1 point in the recruiting rankings, and then I take fullback you away from him.
Yeah, it's your guy, Matthew Ramos.
Nice. Yeah, that's him. He's a beast.
So 2 years in a row, you have an All-American fullback.
Damn right.
Protecting your quarterback. Okay, that's it. So I'm gonna post. I'll post. Like I said, I gotta go. I'm having my birthday dinner from last week today.
Sure.
I have to drive to South Florida and back tonight, so I won't be back for a while. But I'm gonna post the schedule for all the bowls. For people who aren't aware yet, I have to go to Nebraska for work for 10 days beginning Monday. So you get your guys' wish of having like 2 bowl games a day for like 3 weeks or something, or 2 weeks. And I'll be doing progressions while those are happening. So
so get your.
It's actually not that bad idea because the off season between seasons won't be as long with the extended bowls, but I can just start progressions and stuff like while it's going on the whole time. So the off season you'll also have bowls happening like throughout the whole time, which I think is probably better.
That's gonna be cool.
The only thing that means that the national champion will probably only have like a 2-week break before they start playing again with a new team. So.
Well. So guys, get your freaking game plans in like ASAP. All right, you know who you're playing.
The first game will probably be like Tuesday with some of the crappier bowl. It'll probably be like the Miami Beach Bowl and the New Mexico Bowl. But like I said, I'll finalize that tonight. I'm going to post the thread for the awards and bowls so you can read them right now once I can find the forum. And that's it. And I guess our next broadcast will be the NFL draft in about 5 weeks, something like that.
NFL Live tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you guys are doing your NFL Live and such, so that's fine.
That's true.
But the next big one that'll involve
We'll be doing that
draft. Okay, so that's it. Took a little bit longer than I thought, but hopefully it was good.
That's all good.
Thank you, Nico and Sage. And
no problem, man. Happy to do it.
That's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you later. Thanks.
Later.